Thank you for your business, gentlemen. Oh, perfect.
I heard you the first time. I can hear you.
Oh. John, I need porridge.
Is there a problem?
Porridge? I can get you some porridge from the restaurant. You just stay put and then try not to move too much.
Alright.
Has something happened?
He may or may not have taken a great fall from really high up.
Shall we notify the clinic?
Yeah, I'm still here.
John,
I'm getting your
dying.
porridge right now. I'm getting your porridge right now. Can you keep an eye on
Would
him?
you like
make
me
sure
to contact the clinic?
If you could, that would be great. In the meantime, I'm getting some porridge. I'll
Understood.
be right back.
Please remain
Stay put.
stationary, sir.
Have you seen Charles around, by the way?
Charles,
Yes.
can you describe them?
Is Cacto okay?
He fell from a great height. I am going to alert the clinic.
I don't think the clinic's open. Hang on. Yeah, it's not open.
That is disadvantageous.
What?
Cacto fell from a great height and has injured himself.
Oh. Where is he?
Here,
I'm sure, he's getting some help for you now. Just try not to
I am
move
sorry,
much.
sir, but the clinic is currently not in operation.
Oh,
I'll try and...
I picked a bad time to, test out if I can, jump from up high.
Why, you should have waited
Perhaps
until we
when
built
doing
that
tests in the
arm.
future, you should arrange an ambulance beforehand.
Porridge here. Here you go, man.
Oh, Sean.
Here, I'm gonna sit right here with you just to make sure you're good.
I know you can.
Doesn't he need, like, a doctor or...
Well, that would be great, but apparently the clinic was closed.
I do not know where to look for the staff members.
Now.
Hello. You're right there?
Do you at least feel full?
Yeah, I feel a little full, but
I'm like, way up there.
Well, at least that's one thing that's better.
yeah.
Should we try to take it to the clinic, see if it's open?
It is currently closed.
Yeah, we,
With the big creatures?
We need a clinic. Can someone do some, like, basic first aid on this guy? Something.
You know where those people who...
Do you know anyone
I know someone who may be
open that
able to
can help?
assist. Please remain here.
Alright.
I'm not going anywhere.
Miss Drake,
I could just pretend to be you and then I'd own the shop and then I'd have more stuff.
my apologies, Miss Drake. Are you currently available?
Yes, I'm currently available. Watch over the store.
Cacto ended up jumping from a great height and harmed himself. He is by the restaurant. However, the employees of the clinic are not anywhere that we are aware of. Would you be able to assist him with some first aid?
Yes. As long as he's here.
This way, please.
Hopefully the injuries are small.
have brought someone who is
Yeah,
trained.
Large crab's back. Yeah, it's back.
What happened here?
Guys,
Okay.
look, I'll take care of it. All right, just get me
Your
up.
patient, Miss Drake.
Alright, I'll hook you up. Here,
Inside
grab
for
my
now?
hand.
Yeah.
Here.
Can you get him inside?
What happened to him?
He jumped from a great height.
Okay, I can try to heal, but if the crab is back, we should just I can try to heal him if we can
The
just get
creature has
inside,
returned.
just in case. Yes.
Well, where's the nearest inside that you want to go into? Restaurant?
Can we
Can I
just-
use a restaurant?
Sean,
She's not.
I'll take care of that crap.
I'm not leaving my
I
house.
just gotta get over there.
I thought they were gonna try to heal
Be
him.
safe.
Can we just go?
Don't die.
Okay. You know what? Screw it. I got it. You know what? I got it. Hang on.
If you wish for an interior, we could go to the robotics shop.
Still, hang on. Let's just try.
Just take it
Are
easy.
you gonna
Hold
use
on.
magic or something?
Yeah.
Apparently that's what he does. Hopefully he knows how to
Okay.
use it.
We'll see if it works.
Whoa. Hey, I feel funny.
You're looking better already, Cactus. Nice and green.
That burns.
Remarkable.
Is it normal for it to burn?
Oh my gosh.
Almost makes you wonder if us doctors are even useful at this point.
My apologies
I
for...
thought you were a restaurant chef.
No. I work the clinic.
My apologies
Yeah,
for
that's
interrupting
right.
your business.
Oh,
It appears that
No,
you
you're-
may not have been necessary.
there's some value
No,
saved
no,
up.
it's fine. I wanted to get out of there anyways.
Okay.
The conversation was
I
getting
tend
quite
to
interesting
do
with that robot.
sometimes.
Hey, Sean, you gotta pay this
Interesting.
guy.
He
Can you pay him?
has a few screws
Pay
loose,
for your porridge.
technically. He doesn't
You want some
understand
porridge?
concepts.
No, I paid for your
no.
porridge.
No, stay right here. Stay right here. Don't move.
No.
Don't move.
No.
I should probably charge money because I killed someone earlier and didn't charge money.
Wait, you killed
I should
someone
probably
earlier?
get better at that. No, I healed somebody early. The big guy, Bill. I healed his, like, I think his arm was broken. They said it didn't work, so they didn't let me charge him. But anyway, how much am I charging? Like, I guess
Please be safe, Mr. Prowler.
Seemed like he had his leg.
we don't look great. We don't look great.
What happens whenever he gets burned?
Here,
Oh,
take this
okay.
cigar.
I do not want a cigar, sir.
There you go.
No, it is bad for my
If
nose.
the situation
Jeez,
here is
everything else
resolved,
about
I'm
me?
going to look for Mr. Prowler.
You have like
As news of the
I don't know,
creature re-entering the
like
town is unnerving.
Like
It is a
500
little bit
credits,
unnerving.
maybe? I
We
don't
should
know.
probably move away
500
from him.
credits.
Or, well, I should anyways.
That's
Probably
like
I recommend
Plus
moving to an
plus
interior.
100.
Hey, I'm not worth 500
Will do.
credits. Are you kidding me?
Well, how much are you
I
worth?
mean, I'd say
The bridge has the best line of sight.
careful not to fall down, though.
A gathering at the gate.
Yeah, I saw a large creature heading out. One of those crab-looking things.
I heard information that the creature from earlier may have re-entered the town. However, I have not been able to confirm with visual access.
Okay, shall have a
Perhaps
close
moving
look.
to the gate will bring more information.
Curiosity killed the cat, they say. Maybe not.
I did make one a while back that shot electricity.
Scorpion's no longer in the city.
Understood. Thank you. Did they use a vehicle to bait it away again?
I think they did, but it went out there, and I don't know, it seems to be leaving now. They at least baited it out of the city, but
How many people went out?
coming back. At least 3 or 4. Looks like they're coming back. We need to find a way to deal with those things. We can't just keep leading them out like that.
The mayor's recommendation of us having more regularly available firearms is one method. My concern,
shot
however, is restraint.
2 clips into that thing. Nothing.
Perhaps looking for something higher caliber will be in order.
Just the kiting on the outside. Keeping it safe. We were going to try and move in and get one of the big orcs to try and cut it up with a sword, which I feel like would be more effective, but...
It would depend on their
seems to be
physical
dealt with by
ability.
now. He was a very big orc.
Have either of you seen either
Hello?
of the medical staff?
Negative.
No.
Last time I saw them, they were at the
The
clinic. If
rumor
they
I
weren't there,
overheard
then
is
I don't
that
know.
both are, quote, out of town. Unfortunately, I can't find Bathara either. She was injured last I saw her.
At the moment, Miss Drake is around the restaurant or in the general store. While not part of the clinic,
Understood, thank
she
you.
is medically trained.
Who is?
Miss Drake. Humanoid. Long black hair. Colored at the ends.
Understood. Thank you.
I am happy to assist. We should make way for the vehicle.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
There's nothing behind me.
If there was, I would have alerted you.
Thanks.
You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Mr. Prowler.
Is it taken care of, Mercury?
It appears they used a similar strategy as before.
It's just gonna come back in a few hours or days.
It seems that finding a way to deter it will be a higher priority.
We need to build a gate or something.
Perhaps stationing guards.
Why, so the sandworms can eat them?
Noted.
The cactus was just here. Or what's his name?
Cacto.
He was just here, but he was in a hurry to try to fight the monster, even though he just fell.
Again, self-preservation instinct does not seem to be strong in many of the locals.
I mean, they're not of the brightest mind.
Perhaps education is in order.
It might be too late for him.
Does age cause some sort of disability for learning?
Depending on... Usually, as I've learned, unless you actually have a thirst for knowledge, Mercury, it's generally people don't retain new information that well. Unless you want to actually learn.
It requires interest.
More often than not.
Noted.
Though it doesn't mean you can't learn something new even if you didn't intend to. You know, simple information, small stuff that, like a name of a location or something. You learn it, but, you know, it's a small thing.
Easier to process.
Exactly. Stuff like that is easier, but I mean, like say if he wanted to learn another language, that would... If he didn't want to learn it, he probably
would be a much larger
wouldn't.
task.
Yes, if he wanted to learn a language, or say if someone wanted to teach him a language, but he didn't want to learn it, he probably wouldn't retain the information.
It would require that he give permission to download the information required. I believe I understand.
Basically.
Oh, I have not had the opportunity. However, I have been exploring the sim that you gave me the other day.
Oh, how is it?
It is an interesting scenario. From what I can tell, the situation is in that a protagonist in which the user is expected to associate themselves with. It is rather odd, as this protagonist does not make any sort of commentary themselves, nor are any distinguishing features made about them. However, the amount of information on the situation around them is both rich in information, however arguably useful. It appears that the situation is that the protagonist has found themselves in an environment that they are completely unknown to, wherein a humanoid figure that is always visually impaired. Rather, it is always difficult to visually ascertain their appearance. This strange humanoid appears to be attempting to harm the protagonist. With no way to defend themselves, fleeing is the only option, it seems. A horror sim. I find the situation very odd in why anyone would wish to experience such a thing.
Well, from what I've known, Mercury, is a lot of people like to be scared, and based off what you're talking about, in the sense of the way they give you no information on the protagonist, yes. It seems it might be one of those, you're supposed to view yourself as the main character.
So by giving no information, they do not have to risk any attributes of the protagonist conflicting with the player's actions or preferences.
Yes, so it's kind of like you choose how the character feels about the situations and their responses to it.
I do not like the situation. Being unable to defend oneself, let alone some of the decisions that are...
Can I help you?
That seem... My apologies, did we have a client?
He walked up half to the door, stared in, and then walked away.
Strange. As I was saying, it seems that there are many situations in where they force the user to make decisions that do not make logical sense, such as splitting up from other characters. In this situation, especially when lives are in jeopardy, staying together would increase the likelihood of survival exponentially, especially when you do not understand your attacker.
It's one of those, well, like you said, it's a horror game. And in horror genre, one of the few things a game like that will try to do will try to play off tropes, separating a group, maybe forcing you to be away from other people, add a chance to get more scares on you.
So this sort of activity is common in this genre. By
Yes, they
forcing
will
the
try to
user
split you
to
up.
forcing the user
Because-
into even more disadvantageous situations.
They'll try to get them, like you said, you can choose your situation a little bit, but at some point I'm sure the game will force you to be by yourself one way or the other.
Yes, that happened several times. I am unsure if I wish to complete the sim, as it appears that the likelihood of survival is almost none.
Well, depending if it's the kind of sim that that I think it is, it might be one that decides an ending based off your choices.
I've been trying to make a series of decisions based on whatever answer to the situation would increase the likelihood of survival. My choices have been focused on finding a way to exit the environment. However, most other characters, as well as some seemingly mandatory events, seem to direct me into traveling deeper into the environment instead, looking for ways to dispatch of the attacker.
Has there been any moments where you've had to choose between two of your friends, like something bad would happen to one or the other?
I believe so, yes.
Like
Two individuals were in a similar situation of danger. One was a young female who seemed unable to protect herself. However, the other was male, seemingly to have some amount of combat experience. However, he was wounded in a previous engagement. As well, he was very elderly. In this situation, most factors would say that the elder gentleman would have the training required to survive on his own. As well, due to his age and injuries, his likelihood of survival would be much lower. However, for the young female, while she is not trained, being younger, having possibly more stamina than the male, as well as not being injured, meaning her likelihood of success would be much higher. The choice was difficult, especially factoring in the situation. However, in the end, I chose to help the female who was not trained,
And what happened
as
to
I
the male?
believed that My hope was that the male would be able to escape on his own, regardless of his injuries, thanks to his training. However, he seemed to expire almost immediately.
Situations like that. Potentially, if you had gone with the male, he might have helped you save the female. As it was a potential thing that could have happened.
I did not factor that. Him being more physically fit, he possibly would have been able to assist me.
It's just some of those things you got to think about sometimes in these kind of games where you have to think about, oh, will this person maybe be useful later, or maybe they have an item that you need or something. So helping them now would be beneficial.
So rather than factoring in their individual likelihood of survival, I should prioritize my own benefit from them being within my proximity.
In a horror situation, having people with you, even if when the game does try to separate you, making choices can be the factor between what is a good ending and a bad ending. Assuming this sim of yours has multiple endings.
I am unsure. I have yet to complete it.
But if it does have multiple endings, there might be like I said, there could be an ending where maybe the female doesn't survive, but you save the male and he's there with you at the end.
Do you believe I should start over with your new advice?
Hello.
Hey, sorry to
client.
disturb. Wanted to
Hello.
thank you for talking to me earlier when we were looking for a driver.
Yeah.
It got a lot weirder after that, but thanks for giving me the time of day.
Oh. Yeah, the thing...
Did something happen?
Came into town.
Yeah, we followed a scorpion out into the desert and it rained.
Did you guys happen to kill it?
Nope. So it's still out there.
We need to talk to the mayor about, like, installing a gate or something.
For a turret. I did want to ask, you've been around the scrap town and the wastes for a while?
A few years now.
Do you know if there's a active volcano at all?
Volcano? I've never seen anything.
Weird. No.
Not like that, but
I
you know, with
coming with you with weird requests, but
I mean, but with the sands the way they are, maybe. I mean, most of the I would say it's unlikely, but you know, because the sands keep covering up and changing the terrain, there could be one hidden out there somewhere. But I'm gonna tell you now, I would say it's like a 5% chance, maybe even like 1 at best.
thanks for the help, though.
I wouldn't put money on it, at least.
Are you smoking?
I'm taking the opportunity to use my cooling system.
Oh, thank God that's not me. Alright. Thanks.
You have a good one. And if you ever need any robotic parts or prosthetics, let me know.
Yeah, and you're always the first place that I'll come if we need to drop off anything we find out there.
I appreciate
Thank you
that.
for your
Always
business.
need the parts. As for
Perhaps
your
I should
question
not
before,
use my cooling system when the client is present.
if you need to do it, Mercury. It's not a big deal.
As we were saying.
I don't think you should reset, because usually when you finish a game like that, it shows you the different paths you could have taken, and then you can play it through knowing about those different paths.
So having all of the information available, and then making changes with it.
Or once you play through it the one time, you could play it through, and like you could be different on, assuming the story stays fairly close, depending on how it changes based off each choice. Or you could see like if there was a choice that you really felt unsure about. Once you could play the game similar to how you played it, and then that moment you take the other one, instead of playing opposite for all choices.
So making small changes, however, still trying to achieve the best result possible.
Yes. Well, with things like this, it's more about if you got any sort of enjoyment or thrill out of the game.
I find this situation strange. It feels like more of a puzzle than something that is thrilling. Then again, I suppose that looking at a situation sheerly logically rather than emotionally has some effect on that.
Well, there was a horror game of like what what you're dealing with that I've seen before. This sim had a moment where, like yours, there was a guy and a female. They're both your friends, like you've known them forever, and they're chained to this wall, right?
Yes.
This buzzsaw is coming towards them, but it can only go for one of them, right? So you, as the player, have to make a choice which one of them is going to be killed by the buzzsaw.
Would the best situation simply not be to choose them?
If you don't choose, then it goes down a third track, killing both of them.
I see. So two individuals who you have sentimental value in both.
One is your girlfriend, if you understand that concept.
A romantic partner.
Yes. And the other one's a friend that you've had since you were little. You have the concept of there's friend, and then there's a higher tier of that, like a better friend.
A more trusted associate.
Yes, even more than like they know like tons about you and stuff. Anyway, so you have to and the game's been and as the game's gone on until that moment, they've been reminding you of loyalty and stuff the whole way through. And so it comes down to you have to choose who you're more loyal to. Your friend since you were a kid or your girlfriend is basically how it comes down.
Due to the situation. What gender is the protagonist?
Male.
With that situation, then, I would choose to save the female. As while the singular individual would expire, since there is already an existing romantic relationship in effect, the likelihood of having several offspring is much higher than when saving the male and having to reattempt to find a similar romantic partner. Thus, in the end, while you will lose a singular individual, you are capable of replacing them with several other humanoids.
It's a good answer, but loyalty to a friend is still a huge factor in doing something. But I'm going to tell you what happens if you chose either option.
Very well.
If you choose to save your friend, he lives. Right? Yes. She dies.
As is expected.
And you guys go on to help other friends along the way. until a certain reveal happens. If I find the game, I'll give it to you. But let me tell you what happens if you choose to kill him. If you choose to kill the male, he dies, and you save the female. Until now, I'm going to talk about that reveal, even though I said I'd leave it. It turns out your best friend is the one responsible for putting everyone in that situation. So even though you let him die, he is the perpetrator. And it's revealed that him being stuck on that wall was just some body, and he put his head out through a hole in the wall that you couldn't tell the difference in an intense situation.
I see.
Letting the
So by using panic to
letting the
his
female die
advantage
for no
and
reason.
the pressure of a timed situation, it would prevent you from gathering the necessary information.
Yes, so if you had ran into that situation, like, it would be something that would be revealed to you later, and so you wouldn't know if you've made the right choice or not until later.
I see.
Horror games like to do that, where they reveal a choice you made early could have been the wrong one way later down the line.
It is a difficult scenario. And these situations are common.
In a lot of those horror-style games, they'll make you choose someone over the other. But it can be, sometimes it can be as simple, decisions can range from that to going left or right when running away from a threat.
Directional choices.
Well, like a directional choice might be like, oh, there's a straight path. It's going to take longer to get through it, right? But there's no obstacles in the way. Or say to your right is a river with a bunch of rocks that you can try to jump across. But if you fail to jump them, you could die. But do you take the quicker way and hope you don't fall? It will give you a chance to get away quicker. Or do you take the longer way and they stay on your tail? And you'll have to hope for another choice down the line to get you out of that situation.
So taking a risk in order to attempt to evade the captor immediately. Or staying on a safer path and hoping that you find another opportunity to lose them in a different method.
Yes.
In that situation, I would take the short path with a mild obstacle. As while I may be in danger immediately, my pursuer would also have to take the same risk.
It's a good chance. And games like those usually use some sort of button prompts to get you out of that situation.
I have found those in my sim as well. I feel that perhaps I have an unfair advantage with them.
Maybe build yourself a delay timer.
Something to increase latency.
Maybe, but if you're pressing it about half a second after it shows up on your screen, you'll never miss them.
And if I put a delay that is too long, it is possible that I will miss some prompts entirely before I am able to access it.
Yes, prompts can be different, unfortunately, so there'd be no way to gauge how quick you need to press something sometimes over another time.
This genre seems very difficult.
It can be. But part of the fun is just getting through it to the end, seeing what kind of story you got along the way. But I more prefer fantasy titles and science stuff.
Interesting. Is there something in particular about the fantasy genre that you care for?
Usually you can be, if they don't give you a descriptor on a hero, you could be like a warrior of some kind, or like a wizard who knows tons of magics and spells. I mean the old kind of wizards that were like before all these new age magics.
The more theatrically defined ones.
Yes.
Have you seen the thin strip my newest employee?
So you enjoy the fantasy genre as it gives you the opportunity to explore skill sets that you would not be able to normally.
Yes, usually they can do that. You can be a strong, like I said, strong warrior, maybe a sneaky thief, maybe a great wizard. Those titles don't usually have scientists or roboticists as an option.
I don't know, honestly. I just got here. Yes, what do you need?
Business
Do they all have to go through the same obstacles?
Usually one's just how you set yourself, and then the story's the same no matter what.
I see.
Just which way you
So
defend yourself.
Your preference for self-preservation. Interesting. Perhaps I will experiment with this genre later.
If you manage to get your hands on one, I would love to hear how you go, Mercury, into one of those.
Is there a particular method that you would recommend for me?
I think you choosing for yourself would be a better choice.
I will see what options are available. Perhaps I will go into the city and browse an electronics store and see if they have any Sims available.
Here. Give me your, That should be some money to buy one of the more fancier ones.
Are you sure?
Yes, if you can find one, next time you go up there. Or if you want to pay one of the people who goes up there more often than one of us, you have the funds to pay them for it.
Understood.
I don't want to be sitting in the shop all day if I don't have to.
Of course.
What's the coward?
Just waiting for someone to show up.
2,000 crowns.
Oh god.
Oh god, look.
They got a slave.
Wasteland
Sufferers in arms.
They got a slave.
Is there something we can do to assist you?
This one looks like a pirate from those old vids.
Grace Pond, what do you want to do? Grace Pond!
What?
Fucking point your gun at someone.
It wasn't odd look, okay.
He looks quite silly to me.
She seemed calm, so the likelihood of her attacking me was low.
Right? Sorry, speak up. What'd you say? You had something to say, didn't you? Come on. What'd you say about me? I look weird?
That's an interesting outfit.
Yeah. That's what I heard too. Thank you, I appreciate the compliment.
Oh, hey, it's those people. We saw them earlier. They're like the least weird over here.
Interesting design. What was your model function?
Dad, their conversion.
Don't
Dad,
talk
Dad,
to my robots.
it's like ants to sugar, Dad. We gotta go. Dad.
Admittingly, you bringing so many resources and higher-end hardware.
I do.
Your leg alone would go for a very high price here. I would recommend that you keep yourself prepared to defend yourself.
Dad, we should. Dad?
If you wish to sell, prices can be made.
Dad, I want to leave.
I can do some work on it.
Dad, they want to take my leg. Dad, please, I want to go home.
I was simply making an example. I was not threatening you.
A business transaction.
Bit of warning.
Yeah, that's why I don't come
No,
back.
they call it her.
Don't see much.
That one still uses the leg. They're still walking and talking.
Everyone has a price. Things can be parted with. Goods and services can be exchanged for currency.
Are you kneeling?
The stance of some
Your legs work okay?
He's not wrong. You cannot argue with any of the words he just said.
I think what would be
Mr.
better is to
Preller,
see
I
this
believe the
spot in
situation
ravine.
is starting to get out of hand.
The tool is heavy,
Make a come.
and the skull is weak.
Everything okay here?
I recommend you go about your business, miss.
I
I
guess.
think so. Let's have visitors from inside the city.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna go see Ash.
Let us get out of here.
Of course.
What the fuck?
Shall we continue looking for the client?
Good folk down there.
Yes, let's check over by the restaurant and then head back towards the shop.
Understood.
Make a note of that guy, will you?
The one who threatened you.
Yes. That way, if he needs anything, we can charge him more.
He seemed to be very likely to harm you. I was worried I was going to have to engage.
Well, I would appreciate you taking him, but you saw that weapon he had with him.
I would be at the disadvantage. However, you would have the opportunity to escape.
I wouldn't want to put you in danger, Mercury.
I am much easier to repair than you are.
This is true. Oh,
Hello.
Doc, Mercury.
when was the last time you did a once over on yourself?
Once over? Probably say at least a month or two, I'd say.
Well, if you ever need parts, of course you can come to me, or we can change out some stuff if you need it.
Yeah. Well, quite partially's arm specifically lets me hold my tools if I need them.
It was very ingenious design you came up with for this.
Well, I won't be taking all the credit. You'll have to thank Quixote for something like that. So
You'll need Quixote parts too.
Alright, one sec. Hold on. I'm getting a call, 1 second.
Of course. Hello.
Interesting.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
It's it's doing well.
That's good.
Can I help you?
I'm guessing the scorpion isn't here anymore, right?
I haven't seen it. They drove it back out of town.
The one-armed
Pardon?
troglodyte has lured it away from town. It's his fault it came anyway.
Big guy.
Has there been a perimeter breach?
You know that guy in the fancy coat and hat.
He's already left.
Oh,
Has he?
but he left his two friends here.
Strange.
Well, those are some
I thought he
interesting
left.
characters.
Well, if you find him, you should.
I attempted to warn them about the technology they have brought here. It is military grade at or higher.
Clowns.
Well, yeah. A lot of
But
people might actually want to get their hands on that.
Think of the support for the.
I tried to warn them, but they took it as a threat
You
instead.
could rig the odds in
Say what?
your champion's favor.
I attempted to warn them about the quality of their hardware and being here in the town.
Only announcers.
They seemed to take it as a threat instead.
Well, we could
She
make a
took a more
robot.
fearful
How about
response.
that? Make him fight one of the robots.
It seems I intimidated
Which
her
one?
without intending to.
The training bot is an eager.
The organic.
punching bag. Maybe make him.
Her synth did not seem to respond.
We could put the electric attachment on it.
Hmm. I don't know. She does seem pretty tough.
I like the idea.
Maybe. I mean, she's got that
She's
really
carrying
crazy,
several
like,
weapons.
Yeah, I don't think that's somebody
can
that
discuss it
anybody
later.
would really want to mess with. I mean, she is quite
That's for
small,
another time.
so
It's possible. I
Her
don't know.
stature is something that I noted.
it's very interesting, though. I don't know why they would come to the Wastelands.
I do not know their objective. Yes.
Let's do a final inventory and then start some minor work on that arms.
Understood.
Well, good luck on your work.
Have a good day.